All right, let's talk about Jaxon Smith-Njigba, a guy who's having a really good preseason, showing a lot of very nice things for Seattle. And, I think he's showing exactly why they decided to spend a first-round draft pick on him, and maybe even then some. I think that there were certain things you wanted to make sure he was able to do in the preseason, but I think he's shown some things that, in this game that we haven't maybe necessarily known he would be able to do at the next level. And let me just talk about what he did well. So let's start off with this play. What's going to happen here is it's a zone coverage play, and you see Jaxon Smith-Njigba's route on this one, where it's going to be underneath the zones in coverage. And to me, this is where he is, why he was drafted. This is what he's supposed to do, is do the simple stuff, be the traditional slot receiver. I'm not saying that's all they think he can do, but that's like the thing he has to do if he's going to live up to the draft pick. If he just does that, they're going to say, okay, cool, we spent that draft pick well, you can do that part of what we need to be done in a football game. Watch how when Geno Smith takes the snap, you see that, again, a pretty good release by Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Does a good move to make sure that he's able to try and get to the outside. There isn't a ton of separation, but one thing that makes Smith-Njigba a very good player is his ability to have a really good burst and be very explosive quickly. Go from basically being stopped to a top speed incredibly fast, having good acceleration. Watch how he does accelerate nicely, and he is able to pick up a catch for, I believe that was 1,000 yards. That's how much that went for. Okay, no, it went for 4 yards, so not exactly the biggest and most important of plays, but you know what? 4 yards is better than 0 yards, and obviously, goes without saying, there will be times when these plays go for more than 4 yards, and it's more about what does this show that he can do in the regular season, which is promising that he can do these plays in the preseason. A play like this is certainly another thing that they're going to want to see him be able to do for Seattle, which is, again, he is the outside receiver here. Now, it's not it's not like he's just trying to go win on the outside. He is going to be running a route over the middle, but, I do think that they feel like with Jaxon Smith-Njigba, he has maybe saying Justin Jefferson is too high, but at least Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, that play style upside of guys who don't just win on the outside, but also can come up with big ways to move the chains and get a ton of yards while still not necessarily doing it just through a go route on the outside. Something like this, for example, which is going to be play action rollout. You're going to have the quarterback runs up to the top of the screen. Smith-Njigba is going to go over the middle. That's the way this play is designed to work. Watch how he gets off this release right here. Again, gets the inside leverage very quickly so he can move in. The ball eventually comes and he catches it. And you see how he was able to just get underneath all of those defenders who were trying to stay further deep because he's explosive enough and fast enough to get over in that direction. He does end up getting tackled right away, as is expected with several guys about to hit you. But hey, I think that's also a good job of being able to hold on to the football after taking that hit as well, which was very good. And again, there's going to be plays where you get extra attention on Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. So now you have, little Jaxon Smith-Njigba running over the middle. He can definitely come through in big ways. But this is the play. If you're a Seahawks fan, this is the play. You want to see something that is definitely Cooper Kupp-like. This is the one where it's going to be a one-on-one matchup, Smith-Njigba running a route over the middle. So again, this isn't him just trying to win on the outside. That's not really what they think he's going to do. That's not how they're going to use him. Maybe he'll surprise you and he can win on go routes on the outside. That wasn't part of his game in college. Maybe he'll surprise you and be able to do it in the NFL. But they don't need that from him because he can do something like this. Watch how, once again, very good release off the line, and he's going to make a move to where he's a little bit open. This isn't wide open, right? But it's the breakaway speed that Smith-Njigba has here. Watch him adjust to the ball incredibly well, and the defensive back isn't able to take him down until he gets to the 1 yard line. That is a really impressive play, and it's Cooper Kupp-like, right? How many times have we seen Cooper Kupp do something like that, where it looks like it's a simple over-the-middle route, but then it extends, he's able to get towards down the field, and they're able to pick up way more yards that way. These are things you can do in the NFL. It's legal. You're allowed to do this, and if Smith-Njigba is going to consistently do stuff like this, and he is their third best receiver, this could be an awesome receiving core. And also just something like this. This is a little one. He only had 3 catches in this game because obviously not a huge sample size given the preseason nature of it and everything. But this was just a good small play that kind of showcases what he can really do, showcases his footwork. He gets talked about as a slot receiver. Well, again, that saying sometimes gets used as an insult when it probably shouldn't be. I mean, I kind of get why it's used as an insult, right? Traditionally, your third best receiver is the slot receiver, but also I think it's fair to say there is a very specific skill set, and there have been incredible players who primarily played out of the slot. But what do you have to do if you're a slot receiver? Well, usually you have to have very good footwork off the line. That's usually what you need. And I've kind of talked about his footwork off the line a little bit already, but watch what he's going to do on this play. I mean, look at this move. It kind of fake as though it was going to the right and then goes up towards the top of the screen. The defensive back passed off Smith-Njigba to someone else. But again, little move, didn't end up mattering. He wasn't far enough down the field to get the first down on a 3rd down and 6 anyway, but it just goes to show what he's capable of doing and what he'll be capable of doing on future plays in future games and, games that actually matter, I would assume. So what does this all mean with Jaxon Smith-Njigba? What have we learned here? I mean, some things we haven't really learned, but it's nice to confirm, right? I made a video about his week 1 performance where I kind of said this as well, of it's nice to see that he can do the things that they drafted him to be able to do, right? He is someone who can seemingly do a good job at, being a slot receiver, which, again, they don't need him to win on the outside. They have guys who can do that. So they're not going to, one of the nice things I think about this draft selection as well is they're going to be able to put him in a position to succeed. It's a good situation, and I think that'll certainly help him out a good deal. So that's obviously good. But we saw that one play that I showed you, the Cooper Kupp-like play, as I called it. That's what really gets me excited, and what should get you excited if you're a Seahawks fan and get you concerned if you're a 49ers fan is that kind of thing. And if he can consistently win that way and find ways to still get these big chunk plays like how Cooper Kupp can, like how we see Justin Jefferson do, although Jefferson obviously a great outside threat as well, but we see him make those types of plays as well. That's what could, because I think the question with Smith-Njigba is he's obviously going to be a valuable player, but how valuable will he be, and can he take the next step to be like a superstar level player, or at least like a star level player? If he's going to do that, it's going to be through plays like that, and I don't know if he'll be able to do it in the regular season, but he can do it in the preseason, and that's a pretty promising sign that he'll be able to do it in more important games. So, yeah, definitely exciting stuff there. At least that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What were your thoughts on Jaxon Smith-Njigba's performance? Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.